Everyone from Uganda, East Africa.
Yay, thank you, Naomi. Well, let's go ahead and get started. It's great to see everyone here. As I said, this is our 25th anniversary. Well, actually it's our 26th, but no one's counting really. So congratulations to us to making it past 25 years. Started Spirit in Action became an official organization in 1996. So here we are. Today we have a whole team that's going to put this presentation on. We have presenting as our hosts, besides me, I'm Tanya Cothran, the Executive Director of Spirit in Action, for those who don't know me, but we have hosting us Amber Picot-Brodnax, one of our board members, calling in from Louisiana, and then also Fulgence Njijimana calling in from Ottawa in Canada, and one of our African Advisory Board members. So I'm grateful to both of them for helping present today. And we will have some really great videos from 4 of our partner organizations, and also some music from my last trip to Kenya and Uganda. And these are videos that were completely put together by the partners, and so it's really exciting to see what they have to share with us. And we encourage you to type into the chat if you want. We can have the conversation going in there along the way. And if you need any help, you can put it into the chat, and Morgan is volunteering to help us out, straighten out any problems. So thank you, Morgan. We're going to start with a little bit of Spirit in Action's history with Marcia Johnson, the former Spirit in Action administrator. Welcome, Marcia. So take it away.
I'm giving deep thanks for 25 years of God's love and abundance flowing through Spirit in Action. Tanya has asked me to share a bit about Spirit in Action's history, founded by Del Anderson in 1996. Del was born in 1906, right after the San Francisco earthquake, and he passed in 2008 at 102 years of age. He served as president of Camps Farthest Out International from 1973 to 1982, and nurtured many relationships with CFOI leaders who came from around the world to these camps. From his very small office in Alameda, California, Del lovingly corresponded with many of these CFOI leaders, joyfully writing letters by hand, sending self-help materials, seeds, scriptures and inspirational readings, tapes of inspiring talks, and often he would slip in a $5 bill for postage for their response. Del wanted to give others the opportunity to be part of this sacred ministry and to see it expand beyond his lifetime. In 1996, the Spirit in Action Board of Directors was formed, made up of friends who shared Del's vision. Tanya's grandfather, Jim Thomas, a dear friend of Del's, was an essential member of the board. I remember one board meeting conversation about small business fund grants. One board member felt that the grants should be paid back once the small business was making a profit. It was Tanya's grandpa, Jim, who suggested paying it forward to another community member, giving them the means to begin a small business of their own. This greatly enhanced the community impact of Spirit in Action's Small Business Fund program. We became a 501c3 nonprofit organization, which enables folks to make tax-deductible contributions, which bring new life and opportunities to so many people and communities that Spirit in Action serves. I gratefully became the administrator of Spirit in Action for its first 12 years, followed by Tanya's wonderful leadership these last 13 years. I close with Dell's dream, something he wrote in 2004 when he was 98 years young. This is my dream, to encourage and support people to know they are spiritual beings in the world and that they can co-create with God to sustain themselves in the world. Where we go in the world, we will look for persons in that area who can become role model for their world. We will search out and connect with people who want to be role models for spiritual living, which contributes to their total well-being and to those in their communities. Thank you so much for listening. It's a great joy to be celebrating Spirit in Action's 25th or 26th anniversary together. Thank you.
My name is Fulgence, and I wish Spirit in Action wonderful 25 years old and many, many more to come. From Spirit in Action's humble beginnings, we have grown into a big presence in many communities in East Africa. This year, through our many donors, we are working with 25 partner organizations. These groups are in the rural areas and in the cities, in Burundi, Kenya, Malawi, Rwanda, and Uganda. Each group fits our criteria of being grounded in community and led by skilled and passionate leaders. Our first video today is from Teri farm, which is the latest venture for Samuel and Rhoda Teimuge in Kenya. He worked closely with Dell even before the official formation of Spirit in Action, exchanging ideas about organic farming and horticulture as ways to promote self-sufficiency and food security in Western Kenya. Over the years, Spirit in Action has funded the Ukweli Training Center, which Samuel founded to teach groups about bio-intensive gardening and fish farming. Spirit in Action grants also helps expand Samuro School, where Rhoda was the director for many years. Rather than rest in their retirement, Samuel and Rhoda have moved away from Eldoret, Kenya, further into the rural parts of the Great Rift Valley. This is an area that has good soil for farming, but is underdeveloped because of limited water resources. Recent Spirit in Action grants are helping Samuel and Rhoda establish a new model farm with a large variety of fruits and vegetables. They are also modeling the way that a farm ecosystem can work together with goats producing manure, which is used as compost, and drip irrigation that can reduce water waste. Someone's way of engaging the community is to go to the people and to sit with them and listen. It's patient and encouraging, and blends practical information with inspirational messages. At Teri Farm, he has been meeting with neighbors and encouraging them to take on farming techniques that are sustainable and add to the soil health rather than depleting it. These methods are especially important as a way to mitigate the challenges of climate change. Please enjoy this video tour of Teri Farm led by Samuel Teimuge.
Welcome to Teri Farm. We moved into this farm in 2020, and so far we see that we have done much progress. We decided together with my family that we go into fruit farming, and we are testing on various types of fruits. And so far we are very grateful that each and every one of them are doing very well. This seems to be the best environment for fruits. And this is the first time in this side of the valley for us to plant such fruits. And we started with pixie oranges or tangerine, sometimes in some other countries, and we planted in August 2020. And so far, they are doing so well. At least we have about 800 pixie trees. Then we went into banana production. So far, we have 140 bananas. We started it with the first 24, and they are doing very well. We have started harvesting even after less than a year. And we see that bananas are doing so well in this valley. And as a matter of fact, a few number of community members have started copying us immediately. The community member who is living close to us, we are very impressed with the impact.
Warna Stephen, Wambui. Agai jiran na Teimuge. Kogi wonepe, bolse, walungwing, aembe, kogi gatastai.
Yeah, this is the farm of our neighbor called Evans Chelimo. Now, this is an impact of the water that we drilled in our farm. It's very close to us, and Evans, together with his neighbors, they came together and they visited me and requested that they can form a group and I can supply them with water. And Evans is one of the first people to take water to his property, and he has installed a meter, and also he has a water tank. So these mangoes, the one you see here, is grown since last year, towards the end, and in the month of March it will be crafted. And this is almost the same age as mine. We planted together same time. So Evans here has close to 300 mangoes which he has planted. And he has also 200 pixie oranges which are now beginning to pick up. And so I'm seeing there's a big impact in this community. And I'm grateful for Evans for what he has done, and the guys he has in this farm are doing great. So we look forward in the very near future that this will be a wonderful orchard. Great for Evans and his family. And so in the middle of the oranges and the mangoes, we have also started some horticultural crops. We have vegetables, and we have garlic, and our son Timothy is really working on the garlic, which seems to be fetching money very soon. So we have decided to turn our farm here to be an economic model where our immediate community are going to be coping, coming to learn.
Right now I've planted almost a quarter an acre, and right now they are still in the growing stage. So just trying to irrigate them and weed them and give them enough manure so that they can. I'm weeding. I'm removing some grass that is trying to infest the garlics. If I don't weed them in time, they will overtake the garlic and they'll take all the nutrients from the garlic. So that is what I'm trying to eliminate.
And we started also by establishing a very small kitchen garden, which every family can manage. They can fence with some thorn trees, they can take care of the animals, of the birds, and they can do very well even in a very small kitchen garden. We also have birds, we have chickens, and they are doing excellent. We have eggs, we are enjoying. We have not given them to sit on, to nest, but we are still eating before we brood. We also have dairy goats. We started recently, and the 3 dairy goats we have are doing great. The reason why we have started this dairy goat farming is to change the minds of the people in this environment, because majority of them are having local goats. We don't even give any milk. But for this, I'm anticipating to get at least 4 to 6 liters once they have the kids. So we are grateful for what the Lord has done for us, and we want to thank you, friends, for really teaming up with us and encouraging us, even after we are now retired, kind of. Also, I still serve with Empowering Lives. But my wife, Rhoda, has retired. Our son, Timothy, is here with us working, and we give God the glory. We have trained about 4 groups already, and yet we are not even done. We have not even built our own house. So we are still living in a store, but we really enjoy it, and we love it. So God bless you, everyone. Welcome to Teri Farm again, and may you really enjoy seeing all the fruits and the labor that we have had. God bless you, and God bless everyone. Thank you.
Amber, we can't hear you, sorry.
Sorry, John Ann warned me about that. A few years ago, Spirit in Action officially added the African Advisory Board to our team. While we had already been working closely with partners and small business fund coordinators for years, we recognized the benefit that could be gained by integrating the voices of our partners more fully into our organizational structure. At a conference in Kenya, 6 skilled professionals and long-term friends of Spirit in Action from Kenya, Malawi, and Uganda agreed to help form the African Advisory Board. This board has transformed the work of Spirit in Action. The African Advisory Board now is leading the grant review process, and since they live and work in or near the communities we want to support, this team is helping Spirit in Action select the most promising community organizations. With their expertise, our grant partners now include organizations like Girls Reach in Malawi, which is helping young women find a vocation after dropping out of school. The Spirit in Action grant to them in 2020 was their first international support, and since then, they have been able to expand their work and raise their profile in the community. During the COVID-19 pandemic, when international travel was impossible, the African Advisory Board members were on the ground to visit grant partners, provide encouragement to the organizations, and also report back to the North American Board on the successes and challenges they saw our grant partners going through. All of our board meetings are now on Zoom, with African Advisory Board members and North America Board members attending together. During these meetings, we are building bonds of deepening partnership and collaboration. In our next video clip, Wambui Nguyo, one of the African Advisory Board members from Nairobi, Kenya, shares with us her appreciation for the uniqueness of Spirit in Action's approach. She also shares about the changes she sees happening on the family level among the small business fund groups she has coordinated over the years.
Hello everyone, my name is Wambui Nguyo. I live in Nairobi, Kenya. I've been part of Spirit in Action as a coordinator on the Small Business Fund since 2003, and in the recent past, a part of the Africa Advisory Board since 2018. What I like about SIA Spirit in Action is that it engages directly with the locals. It encourages the community-driven projects and collaborate with the local coordinators who are well-versed with the local content. And more importantly, the realities that a certain communities face. I'll also say in terms of reaching the top management, with Spirit in Action, there isn't any red tape. We are all in the same WhatsApp group with the CEO, the members of the Africa Advisory Board, and the local partners. And this is very unusual in many organizations. One other thing, Spirit in Action goes above and beyond to give online trainings. So far we've had one recently on basic storytelling and what to include in a story of change. This is more in the reporting. This goal is to assist the partners in communicating their messages to all stakeholders as effectively and efficiently as possible. And then Spirit in Action is also aware that there is no place where conflict is absent. So in this regard, the partners, with all of us together with the board, have received a training on how to deal with conflict. And so this assists us with the upcoming issues and how to deal with them before they escalate. Finally, all of us know and have the basic know-how of take a good photograph, because this forms part of the reporting. And this was a very fun training for all of us. With the Small Business Fund, I coordinate in the informal settlements of Nairobi. This program assists families to achieve their financial self-sufficiency priorities. This could be school fees, it could be paying of medical bills, or even affording 2 meals in a day. We work a lot with single parents, and to me I consider them as a vulnerable group, and we support their empowerment to be stable heads of families. This also contributes to fight against poverty and exclusion. We pick a family and work with them for a year, giving them mentorship in their businesses where need arises. My job entails hosting trainings such as with important skills on record keeping and reporting. And so far I've worked with about 100 families, and I've watched some of them and their businesses grow and support their families in ways that they would not have imagined. And especially when I hear a family has been boosted, some of them to pay the medical bill, some of them to take many children to school. This is usually a very big plus for me. One could argue that the $250 that they are given is not enough. But if I told you that this could be a determining factor whether a child eats properly or goes to school or not, so you'll see that this goes a long way. These businesses contribute to the thriving economy. So here is 25 more to Spirit in Action. Long live Spirit in Action. Long live Del Anderson's dream.
Next, we have a montage of songs from some of Spirit in Action's partners. There are students from the Universal Love Alliance inclusivity clubs in Uganda that are singing about social justice as their call to action. This is an original song written by Universal Love Alliance. Next, we hear some elderly women from the Kakuto Development Initiative in Uganda singing and acting out a song about what it's like to get old. Members of 2 different self-help groups in Uganda sing about helping one another and about the challenges faced by girls. Then we have another clip of the Inclusivity Club students doing a dance performance. Finally, we end with the local choir in Manyamula, Malawi, singing a song of thanks to Spirit in Action.
Social justice, love and respect, and human rights, equality, and love for all. That's what we are. That's what we are. That's what we are. Social justice, love and respect. That's what we are. Endondo z'omukadde nazo tezikoma n'omugamba kumojange n'onabe nakuuza amazzi gokya nedda nze nno ziwunya olumbe lw'obukadde olutujjako ennyama n'otambuza omugongo ng'olinga eryato n'otambuza amavivi ng'onyonge n'omuwa atannakulaba yatannakadewa ngamanzane. Bagambire icyaha by'omukazi n'omwana wa kare abokuteganizibwa munonga n'okuyabona bwine adakacungurwa imwe bantu mweka tubagambire icyaha by'omukazi n'omwana wa kare abokuteganizibwa munonga n'okuyabona bwine adakacungurwa.
If the seed of Spirit in Action is the vision from the of people co-creating with each other and with God for the improvement of their communities, and the roots of Spirit in Action are our long-term connection with the talented leaders on the African continent, then the branches of our tree are the many new partnerships we have formed in the past few years. Tubunganire is an organization at local level in Burundi, comprised of women, most of whom are illiterate. They have recently received a grant from Spirit in Action. In their wildest dreams, they would never have imagined that they will benefit from a grant from an international organization. With Spirit in Action, that can happen. As Wambui mentioned earlier in this event, We are deepening our partnerships with the organizations that Spirit in Action grant support. We are connecting with the grant recipients through online trainings and by receiving regular updates on their successes through photos in our WhatsApp group chat. In all of these interactions, we at Spirit in Action learn more about the different ways that grassroots organizations are listening and responding to the needs of their communities. We see so much wisdom and vision in the groups that we partner with, that we have begun funding administrative costs so that they can hire dedicated staff and dream large dreams for the development of their community organizations. The issues of poverty and food security and the rights of vulnerable people are complex, and they require a variety of solutions. The next two videos showcase two amazing organizations that coordinate a wide range of projects to improve the well-being of their communities. While Spirit in Action funds just part of their overall approach, we celebrate the entirety of the work they are doing. Kape's Uganda is a grassroots organization in central Uganda, and the Spirit in Action partner since the end of 2020. The Kape's Home of Hope is a safe home and a training center for young women who have multiple layers of vulnerability, including those with HIV, orphans, young mothers, and survivors of violence. The young women came from the surrounding region and learned and lived together for 6 months at the Home of Hope. In addition to vocational training, the girls also received counseling and encouragement. A Spirit in Action grant in 2021 covered the materials for the sewing classes and the poultry business training project. This year, we are helping them expand their poultry business and supporting the education of vulnerable children in the community. In this video, we meet some of the girls who recently graduated from the 6-month training program. Their confidence and a sense of community is clear. And we also meet Joanne Joyce Atim, the program officer at the Home of Hope.
Hi everyone. Luandok has a feeling. I'm not very young. Chela meten no coin kun yai cap 8. My chela made back a point bottle of bar, many go away to kill what a shower man. A point to jam a pole don't cap 8 can. I didn't know how getting a young may you don't dress. I make a yai can't around you don't fear a canna. I know na hanging may you bush a red shaw. Kitty Nano Kereni. I think I don't get engaged may you bon necklace. Karachi alka bangles. Tina I don't get engaged may you bon liquid soap. I think I get engaged may you reusable pads. Kitty Nano Kereni. I know na hang tu can don't make you buaro. I made them kaya can't feel a candle around with him. Akayami pashu. No paper and at weekend I make catch and no pehana more around what baraka and take me at my bear. Eti can't take a matron. I make catch and no pehana market can take a water borre. Lohoke you're a bed toro. Tell me I do a machine at you quay. I come out of Canada, 100 bucks of white bottle for you. Come for you to a man on me, 100 bucks of white bottle take to 12. I got 100 bucks of one about watchman. Many guac of kush I can. I got 100 bucks and a half white bottle water and I do shoe. No better can be can. Janan will pay get water and my janda no one now fall. I got to mark get to marry. I made a drop of white bottle. I hold do shametam in your support can. kuna legni ba mi mi gi gum te mede gi gina ginta kwa kana ka jo ken dog bibino mede mer kara chiel kere gwa gi kede ba mi gum. Amen.
Hello, I'm John Joyce Team, the project officer Cape Uganda, located here in Lira City, about 340 kilometers away from the capital city of Uganda, Kampala. I'm really grateful this morning for the gift of support that have been given to us by Spirit in Action that has really enabled us to carry on with the activities here at Prison Harvey Home of Hope. And very first I want to take us through the activities that are currently going on with the support from Spirit in Action. We are doing poultry keeping and management, and so far we have about 45 chickens that are already in place, and the girls are really interested in learning how to do poultry keeping and management. As you can see, they are here. We are also doing cookeries and bakeries. As you see, here is the kitchen whereby we have the serving stove and the oven, whereby in case we are doing baking, we do it from here, and the cooking, we do it from this kitchen. With the support from the matron, who is right here with me, Mrs. Ross, who helps in protecting the girls and the children who are around with us. As young girls, we are also training them on gardening for self-sustainability, so that in future they are able also to reap something out of garden work. Lastly, I want to say that Prison Harvey Home of Hope, with our cooperation with one of the health centers around, has been offered as a place for COVID-19 vaccination and polio immunization. I want to thank so much SIA for every support that really you've gifted us with, that we are able to give the community. Thank you so much for impacting into the life of young girls who are really suffering within our communities. For what you're doing is really a great work, and I want to appreciate God for your support. And it's my prayer that Lord grants you more and more wisdom and knowledge in handling situations, that you are able to support us more and more. May God bless you so much.
The second video in this section is from Flaming Chalice International. Our first grant to Flaming Chalice was for Burundian refugees living in Rwanda. In 2018, we helped them start a cafe and community center for those fleeing violence. Since then, Spirit in Action grants have supported their youth-led poultry project and a sewing training center. In the video, you will see many of the projects that Flaming Chalice implements in their communities. Each one is increasing the economic empowerment, the social connection, and the vibrancy of the community. Flaming Chalice is one of the groups that Spirit in Action supports with grants for administrative costs. The grant in 2020 made it possible for Flaming Chalice to hire Manasseh to coordinate their many projects. A group that only relies on volunteer labor will unravel the moment the talented volunteer needs to get a paying job. So the Spirit in Action grant keeps the foundation of the organization stable. Paul Jones, who is presenting with me today, is the executive director of Flaming Chalice International.
If one were to give the theme to the work that Flaming Chalice is doing in Burundi, it will be Here When You Need Me.
My name is Manasseh Nduwimana. I coordinate the work of Flaming Chalice here in Burundi.
Our work is always a response to what the community expresses as its priority need. That is why we promote women empowerment, vocational trainings for youth, community projects like water project, and a community gathering place.
Our work is articulated around providing scholarships to promising students who would otherwise not go to school. We support communities to reach their goals of getting basic infrastructures like water and a community center so that people can lead health and meaning social connections.
In the eastern province of Rutana, women told us they wanted to develop sewing skills, make reusable menstruation kits or sanitary pads, and in the process have an income to support their families. We heard and responded to their call. In the central part of Burundi in Gyansoro, the community wanted a gathering place for community celebrations to establish a shop because the community is so isolated. They could walk many kilometers just to buy basic things like salt, sugar, beans, rice, and so on, and to have their phone charged so that they can be connected with others and the world at large. Women expressed the need for community gatherings, the use of the community center for their meetings, and we opened doors for them. And we are in the process of supporting women's groups in the area with kitchen gardens.
We empower women to take their rightful place in society so that they can offer their valuable contributions.
Flaming Chalice has a fundamental message that when things get tough, when life is hard, when hope is hard to find, we keep going together. It is that same spirit that we bring to communities and our willingness to join with them as they tackle difficult problems.
We support youth in skills development so they can learn skills that will allow them to stay in their home village and get needed income.
Spirit in Action is playing a great role as it founded some of the projects like the Rutana Women's Sewing Project and now the Community Poetry Project, which is being started.
Flaming Chalice also planning to support a community poetry project that will be a demonstration site for community members who want to raise chicken and make a living doing in the process.
Spirit in Action did remarkable things like providing a multi-year administrative funding that covers 3 staff in Bujumbura, Rutana, and Gyansoro. Therefore, the work has been possible and motivating for employees who give themselves for the well-being of the community.
Spirit in Action comes in with a remarkable approach to international aid by listening to communities and supporting what communities say they want to do. The remarkable way that Spirit in Action has supported Flaming Chalice, especially through the administrative support, has allowed us to leverage that support and get even more funding from other sources and individuals. My hope is that we can still leverage that support and support even more communities and even more individuals and have a positive impact. On behalf of those communities, thank you, Spirit in Action. And long live our communities, long live Spirit in Action.
We are so grateful that Spirit in Action has trusted us and supported our work and pushed us to the next level by providing staff who can make this work happen.
Hi, my name is Kathleen King, and I'm president of the Spirit in Action Board of Directors. Spirit in Action has the unique structure of leaning into true partnership with our grant recipients. There's a back and forth relationship where we recognize and listen to the priorities of our partners while offering support through the entire process. There are many ways to measure the success of our grants. Not only are we seeing people learning new skills through the programs of our grant partners, we also see that people are becoming more confident and they are finding joy and solidarity in working together with others in their area.
Kathleen, do you have some other music playing in the background?
No, unless another relaxing music started when I stopped sharing my screen.
Yeah, I think so.
I thought that was somebody else.
That's fine. We could still hear you.
Did you hear anything that I said?
We could hear you over the top, but it was just like coming in the background a little bit.
I thought it was rather loud.
So you can continue on.
All right. Well, over the 25 years, Spirit in Action has touched the lives of hundreds of thousands of people around the world. Mistina Tembo, one of the women I met in Malawi during my visit in 2019, has seen her life completely change after participating in the Manyamula Concept Savings and Loan Cooperative. The cooperative is a longtime partner with Spirit in Action, as we helped start the Community Loan Fund back in 2010. Mistina joined the cooperative from the beginning, and that meant she could access a low interest loan to invest in her bakery business. She started making good profits and saving bit by bit. After 1 year of saving, she was able to make bricks and fire them. During the second year, she used her profit to buy iron roofing sheets one by one until she had the 36 needed to build her first home. She kept borrowing small loans from the cooperative and paying them back through the profit from her sales. Soon, Mistina had saved enough to build a second home so that she could rent out the first one to a tenant. Her new home has 3 bedrooms, a storeroom, a sitting room, and it's electrified. This August, her son will graduate from university and be able to get a salaried job. Mistina's daughter is also able to pursue her education. She's finishing 12th grade this year and will go on to university next year. This amazing change in Mistina's life came from the opportunity to join together with her fellow community members and access the financial services like credit and safe savings that you and I might take for granted. In addition to changes in individuals, families, and communities, Spirit in Action also celebrates that our partner organizations are able to move to the next level in terms of grant funding. For the last 2 years, we've supported Pastoralist Child Foundation in their fight to end female genital mutilation in their community of Samburu, Kenya. Our grant supported the passionate local staff and paid for their office equipment. This core administrative support helped the Pastoralist Child Foundation apply for and receive a large multi-year grant from UNICEF Kenya. Through their efforts, the rate of FGM have decreased by 30% in Samburu East Subcounty. As Dell Anderson, our founder, said, by God's grace, we have the privilege to be used as his yeast, his salt, to be his quickening spirit manifested. Because of many of your donations, we are able to take chances on these community-based organizations, and we're expanding. Just a few years ago, we supported 4 to 5 partners each year. This year alone, we have 25 organizations that we're working with. Through an increase in donations, the work and expertise of our African Advisory Board, and the adjustments made in our grant process, we have been able to sustainably scale up the numbers of partners we can support. We're particularly grateful to all of our amazing monthly donors whose long-term commitment gives us the confidence to plan for the future expansion of Spirit in Action. There are always so many more amazing organizations out there that we can fund, but thank you for your continued support. We're excited to see what we and our partners will do in the next 25 years, and we are very grateful for the support you have provided for Spirit in Action.
Spirit in Action is asking everyone to give by grace on our 25th anniversary. The number 5 symbolizes God's grace, goodness, and favor. And grace is the divine influence operating through an individual. Grace is a spontaneous gift. In honor of our 25th anniversary, consider giving a monetary and possibly spontaneous gift that represents God's grace, goodness, and favor. We suggest gifts in increments of $5, such as $25, $50, $105, maybe even $555. We'll leave that to the divine's influence on you. You are more than welcome to give by grace at www.spiritinaction.org/donate25. We promise to use your graceful gift in a way that will share goodness and favor with the communities that our founder Dale held so dear. I will leave you with these words from Reverend William Sloan Coffin. May God give you the grace never to sell yourself short. Grace to risk everything, something big for something good. And grace to remember the world is now too dangerous for anything but truth and too small for anything but love. Thank you.
Thank you, Amber and Kathleen and Fulgence. I just put that link in the chat if people are moved to donate anything today. And we thank all of the amazing donors that are here with us today and our amazing partners and who have joined us as well. So each one of us here is a part of the Spirit in Action community. And I'm so grateful. So we do have time while we just give people a few minutes if they do want to go to that link or open up the link. We can also take any questions if people have questions about any of the videos or anything that you saw today. If not, if you don't want to ask a question out loud, maybe put something into the chat about what touched you from the videos or what made you smile or made you think. Jack, I see you have a question or comment.
Hi, Tanya. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, I'm so super happy for this, and I would say happy 25 years of your existence. And not even a question, but a comment. When I saw the video about the Rift Valley and the dance in Malawi, they were so amazing. And I would like to say, as you have quoted, may the spirit of action, the spirit of giving, may your pot never drain, and keep the good work you're doing for more years. Maybe when we're celebrating 50 years or our 100 years, we'll say we've saved more lives. So thank you so much. This is Jack from Nairobi, Kenya. Asanteni sana.
Asante, thank you, Jack, for being here.
I'd like to say a word about Del Anderson.
Go ahead, George. Yeah.
Yeah. Del was kind of like a foster father for me. My father went to a Cub Scout parents meeting and heard Del speak. And I had just joined a Boy Scout troop, and I was dissatisfied with this troop. It was poorly organized. It was a disaster.
But my father said, well, George, I heard somebody speak tonight. He's a scoutmaster, and I think you might like him. So Dad and I went to a scout meeting at Troop 123 in Oakland, California. And that was my first meeting with Del. And that friendship grew through the years. When Del and Bibi went to Japan, to the Omi Hachiman community, and then Del began to work with Samuel Teimuge. He brought Samuel over to Davis, University of California at Davis, to study plants. And besides, in all those letters, the Christmas letters that Del and Bibi sent out, besides $5 bills, he put garden seeds. So, I just have to say what a tremendous influence Del was on my life. And, it's wonderful to see what Spirit in Action has become.
Thanks, George. I see some donations coming in already, so thank you everyone who's already contributed.
Tanya?
Yeah.
I just want to tell you, my heart is so full. I am just celebrating this beautiful demonstration of how Spirit in Action has evolved in these last years. So I thank you. I thank your whole team of people here and in Uganda and Kenya. And I'll tell you, I'm just celebrating, and I know Del is celebrating from above. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Marcia. Yeah.
Kathleen, has it been 40 years or 50 since I met you? You may not remember me, but I do remember you as a young woman. And I was sorry we didn't have more contact, but it's amazing. I loved your mother dearly, and it's amazing to see your president, Spirit in Action. I had no idea you were in that role in Spirit in Action, though I'd heard you were involved. Anyway, congratulations to Tanya and all the prayer that's gone into listening to fund the advisory program of African leaders. We found in Peru, when we had to face the terrorist organization, that it was uniting communities before the project began that protected them. And so you're fortunately not facing terrorists in Kenya, but there are more opportunities for replication and multiplication with their own resources when you start by getting all the key community leaders to agree to do a project together. Very powerful. Congratulations to Del and Tanya and Kathleen and all the coordinators. Bless you all.
Thanks, Ed. I'm so glad you were able to make it today.
We couldn't get the internet to work. It came on an hour and a half ago. And I was so frustrated. I was talking to Tanya, what do I do? And all of a sudden it came on. So God is good.
If I could give my 2 cents worth as well. My name is Saida Garrett. I'm the co-founder and president of Pastoralist Charm Foundation. And we are so grateful to Spirit in Action for all of their support, including Tanya's swift responses to emails and her enthusiasm and her cheerleading of the projects that we do in Kenya. And we truly would not be where we are today without the support of Spirit in Action. So God bless Tanya, God bless your board, God bless every volunteer, every single person in Spirit who is involved in helping all of these communities in East Africa. We are truly, truly grateful. And this is a wonderful celebration. Maybe one day we'll be able to celebrate in person, because I am tired of Zoom, but this one is definitely worth it. And my heart is just so happy right now seeing the fruits of all the labor of these communities that are so deserving, that SIA supports. Thank you.
Thanks, Saida. It's really great to have you here and joining Zoom, everyone for joining Zoom at the end of a long week and day. And huge congratulations to Pastoralist Child Foundation for all your good work. So,
thank you.
Thanks. Naomi.
Thank you. And congratulations to us. Congratulations to Spirit in Action at 25 years. And we pledge to continue. My name is Naomi Ayot, the Spirit in Action Small Business Fund Coordinator in Uganda, East Africa, but also on the Africa Advisory Board since 2018. I'm also the chairperson of Charter for Change National Working Group in Uganda that focuses on reminding donors to believe in the local capacities, to believe in the local resource in the respective countries while doing humanitarian response and development response. The uniqueness about Spirit in Action is that they have been doing this as part and parcel of their approach to work. They have always believed in the local actors. They've always listened to the local actors. They've always thought they can do it. And all you have to do is support. And above all, the approach of gifting, which has not only been a lesson to us as the coordinators, but individual capacity building as Africa Advisory Board. We have had several lessons as already presented, but just the motivation to also have grassroots community-based organization take part in meetings with our executive director, Tanya Kothran, is just alone to pull up the belief in the local. And so Spirit in Action has really championed community-led development, while the big donors are thinking it's time to believe in the local actors. Spirit in Action has done it before. And it is my motto every time I attend these global meetings. And I'm so proud and I feel so blessed to be part of the Spirit in Action family. Thank you all.
Thank you, Naomi. We just are so grateful for your leadership.
Can we just say hi?
Yes, please, Tish, and then we'll go to Samson afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we are so delighted to see everybody, and Ed Riddell and George Furness and all of you, and Naomi. My goodness, I've never met you, but I know a lot about you and your wonderful work with us, and it's been such a joy to connect.
Thank you, Tanya, for everything that you do.
Yeah.
You are so much of a blessing.
And we're so glad to still mail out the newsletters. It's, they come from Washington State when you get them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John and Tish, for always helping out with that. It's huge, huge job. And we keep adding more people to the list and getting more newsletters out. So thank you. And Samson, I think we'll take your comment and then we can continue on with the end of the program. But please, thank you for being here.
Congratulations, Spirit in Action,
I'm Turnawe Samson, working with Universal Love Alliance here in Uganda, and we work for inclusion and acceptance of LGBT persons. I want to thank Spirit in Action for seeing sense in us when many people in Africa does not see sense in LGBT people. Spirit in Action, you have been there for us, supporting us, and standing with us when we are threatened. Thank you. Long live Spirit in Action board members. Thank you. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, Samson. And thank you for joining us, even though it's so late there. It's good to see you here. Amber, do you want to take it away?
Amber, you're muted.
Why don't I ever listen to John Ann? We have raised $3,970 so far, and that is a lot of grace, y'all. So I really appreciate it. We all appreciate it who are on the African Advisory Board and the North American Advisory Board. Thank you all so much for attending today and for celebrating 25 years of community partnership with Spirit in Action. We hope this has given you a taste for the inspiring work of our grant partners. A huge thank you to all the groups that produced videos for this event. Weren't they amazing? I really enjoyed them. Thank you to everyone who just donated now and all those who support Spirit in Action throughout the year with monthly donations. If you didn't get a chance to donate, you can save the link from the chat or go to our website and click the donate button. Also, on our website, you can click on our programs to see a full list of our grants and a map of their locations. If you scroll to the bottom of the page, you can sign up to receive periodic email updates from Spirit in Action. We're planning on hosting more of these online events, and by signing up for the email list, you get to know about them first. I now turn it over to Fulgence to close our time with a blessing.
Thank you, Amber, and thank you, everyone. This is just wow. A wonderful time together, time of celebration of everything that God and his people have done over the years, and the pledge from all of us to continue the work. I conclude this with a prayer. Lord of relationships, God of connections, we thank you for 25. We thank you for all these years during which we have transformed lives, using our hands, using our brain, using our time and our talent. We thank you for all the SIA partners working on site, in the field, touching, impacting, and transforming lives. May the global community that we form continue that work. As we hear wars and rumors of wars, may we be reminded that there are organizations like Spirit in Action that sing a song of peace, a song of partnership, a song of respect. May you all participate in that work, not just for the next 25 years, but 50, 75, 100 years and more. By saying, we are here, Lord, use us. Thank you. Amen. This is a formal end of our time together, but you can now chat informally, have a conversation. You want to know the name or something about a person you want or something you want to ask, this is time for it. But the formal program is ended. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you so much for the work you do. And thank you so much for the support of Spirit in Action as Spirit in Action supports partners in Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Fulgence, for that beautiful ending prayer. And thank